I thought we could take a look today at the seeds that I am going to plant. It's mid-May and I should have started a lot of them indoors, and I did. I started a few marigolds indoors, but the rest of the seeds I traditionally plant every year, I didn't get around to starting indoors. So I'm going to plant them right in the ground. Now that it's finally warmed up here, you have to wait until the ground stays consistently warm, the soil. And we finally reached that point here where I live. And in a minute, I will show pictures of the garden that we grew last year, or part of it. We grow zinnias, marigolds, sunflowers, and cosmos. We grow them from seed every year. I don't buy annuals, I plant my own. And this is a habit that I got into when we were short on money in 2008, actually, when my husband lost his job. And you still want flowers in the spring, and rather than go to the store and buy them, we developed a knack for planting seeds. And these particular flowers bloom reliably in our yard all summer. We have a very sunny yard. And as long as you have well-drained soil and some sun, these should do well. You have to wait until, obviously, any chance of frost has passed before you plant them. And these are the seeds that we collected. These are some of them. And then my mom bought me these packets of seeds because she found them. Let's see, the price is $3.29 on these. She bought these at the end of last season, and I bet you she didn't pay more than $0.25 a pack. But look, they expired in 2021. I don't think that's going to matter, and I'm going to plant them anyway. But we harvest the seeds after the flowers are done blooming, and we're going to go through these in a minute. We harvest the seed heads, the flower heads, and then we dry them all winter. In the garage, it is not hard. You just have to make sure that they stay dry because mold will grow. And then we have a big pile of dried seeds come spring. And I'll show you what each one of these flowers that I have in packets that my mother, I'm lucky that she bought for me, but I have a bunch of seeds too that I will plant. So I'm going to show you the photos now of our garden last year. The first picture, you can see the zinnias, and these grew in a little meadow that we have, and the marigolds on the bottom. And in the background, you can kind of see the huge, tall cosmos that grew. They got 6 feet tall, and here's another shot. We had a couple varieties, these shorter ones that got yellow and orange blooms, and then the tall ones got buds, but they didn't bloom until well into September, and they got 6 feet tall. Here's another shot of them. You can kind of see our sunflowers in the background. They probably got 8 to 10 feet tall. But the cosmos grew and grew and grew, and they got so lush. And then they finally did open. Here's one or a couple of them, and you can see some of the buds. And then zinnias and marigolds again in the background. And these marigolds that we have, they grow almost like bushes. This is the cosmos that when they finally opened, and it was well into September because that's my shadow and I have a coat on, but they finally opened, and they were very pretty, but we were wondering what on earth is going on. And here's another shot. There's one of the sunflowers in the background, a bunch of zinnias. I think there's a coneflower back there too, and of course marigolds in between. This is the common theme in the house, or in the yard. And here we have a pot of zinnias. I'm going to try to do this again this year. And this was so easy, and they grew so beautiful and big, and it was very low effort. A child could have done it. And this is the same pot of zinnias, but a different angle. And we had a little visitor that day, this little black butterfly with a yellow stripe on him. I have no idea what type he is. I'll have to look it up. This little flower grew. I had to add it. It's a crimson flax, and it was the tiniest little wisp of a thing. And it grew from a seed packet that we bought. And I hope that I collected some of the seeds. I hope to grow another one. It was a little surprise. Okay, so you saw what we grew, and these are the seeds from the flowers that you just saw on those little photos, that little slideshow. So we'll read these little seed packets in a minute, but let's go through my bowl. Since we just saw those flowers, let's see what will become this year's flowers. Let me find the most common one I have in here, which is marigold. Here's a marigold seed head. I have this plate here so you can kind of see it. See? These are mostly French marigolds, the little ones. So we collected the seed head, dried it, make sure it doesn't get moldy. Just keep flipping them and eventually they dry out. And then you open it and the seeds come out. See? And the little pieces of flower are still attached, but we will just plant these and that will become this year's marigolds. And marigolds for us grow very well, and they're a good placeholder in your garden if you grow perennials. Maybe you're saving up money to buy certain plants in your yard, and maybe you could put a couple marigolds there. They're very pretty, and you could use them like as a placeholder. And for me, they bloom very reliably all summer. They truly do. And I learned that the bigger marigolds with the bigger heads, they look kind of like, these are zinnias, but the really big marigolds, and sometimes they're yellow, those are African marigolds. I never knew that before. Ours are mostly French, and the marigolds grow very quickly. I put some in my pots at my front door probably a couple days ago, and they're already probably that high. They're really fast growers. So the next thing that we can look at, here's one right on top. This is a dried out zinnia head, and this was probably pink, probably. And you just have to make sure that they stay dry. You know, you can hang them or you can lay them flat, not on top of each other, but just make sure that they don't get moldy again. So the seeds in here, here's the middle part of the flower. The seeds are at the end of the petal, so I'm going to crunch them here. Let's get a seed out. So at the end of the petal, there's a little seed. And you wouldn't have to crack that petal off. You could just plant that whole seed. And let's try to get another one. And even if it broke off, it wouldn't matter, because like that one, you can go in this under part of the bottom part of the flower, and look at that great big seed that I got. And that petal is still attached, but look at that huge seed. And I'll be honest with you, all this like debris that is left over from the flowers, whatever that thing is that's in the middle, and the stems and leaves and whatever else has accumulated in here. I'm just going to throw it all in my yard and kind of crunch it up in the soil, and it will, it'll become dirt, it'll biodegrade. But the zinnias, I read this on the internet, I'm not sure if it's true. I read that zinnias come in pretty much every color but blue. See if we can get another seed. Yep, I got one. See it? No, I don't have it in the camera. And they're very low maintenance. They have a really beautiful cut flower to make bouquets. But let the flowers dry fully on the stem if you are harvesting seeds. And all of these flowers too that I grow, they're very forgiving with, I'm not going to say extreme drought conditions. You have to water them once in a while, but they're not fussy. You don't have to be, if you skip a couple days, unless it's really bad, you are probably going to not have any problems. And we are not big waterers in the garden. We collect rainwater, and we very rarely run our hose. So that's important for us anyway. Here's a sunflower seed head, and this thing is crunchy. I mean, listen to that. That is dry. The thing with the zinnias, no, not the zinnias, the cosmos and the sunflowers, we have little finches that come to the yard and they feast. They might eat the zinnia seeds too. They feast on these seeds. This sunflower, I snatched it as they were, they had passed their prime in the fall. But you see all the little compartments. The birds take their beaks and they reach in there and they get those seeds. But there are quite a few actually on this. I'll try to dig one out. I might just crack it. I can't even, that's how dry it is. But let's see about these sunflower seeds. There's a lot of seeds in here. That's the portion right there that has the seeds. I'm going to try to dig them out, then we'll look at the seeds. And these are easy to grow if you can keep the animals away from digging them up. The squirrels and the chipmunks, and I don't know, we have possums and raccoons too. I think they'll all pretty much eat anything. So here's the little sunflower seeds. And these are a tinier flower. See, that was the whole flower. They're not the gigantic like dinner plate type. Those have far larger seeds. But there's the seeds for the sunflowers. The last one the last type that we harvested, mostly, there will be other seeds in here. We'll see what grows. And these I barely got any of. Luckily, my mom bought me these packets because the finches really, really ate these. They chowed down on the cosmos. So this is what the cosmos look like. And so that's the middle of the flower. Actually, these particular ones looked more like this variety. And they dry out. And you see how they have like, it's almost hair-like on top. Let's pick this apart and see. Let's see what the seeds look like. You can tell what's not like plant material that I will just throw in the yard and what's the seed, because the seed actually has some substance to it, You can really feel it. Like there's one of the little hairs. And like I said, I'm just going to throw all this. Knowing me, I'll probably just go sprinkle this whole bowl over the bare patches of my yard. And I have several pots too that I will plant things in. But there are our cosmos seeds from our harvest. Now let's read about the different seeds. These are Sensation mixed colors. I had a lot that looked like this. And giant single flowers in shades of pink and white. Bloom from midsummer on. These take quite a long time, 65 days to bloom. So I have got to get moving on this, but by midsummer we'll have flowers. These are Cosmos Bright Lights mixed colors. I'm going to plant these in a blue pot, I think. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And these again take 65 days to bloom. Easy to grow and brightly colored mix of early flowering semi-double blooms in yellow and orange. So these are single, and that's a semi-double. They're all different varieties. Let's stick with Cosmos. This is a lemonade. That's a single. I'm going to try to keep all these separated in the pots. These are only 40 to 45 days to bloom. Delicate, subtle yellow blooms are produced in abundance throughout the summer on short branching plants. Wow, these are shorter. That's why. These are probably really tall. Yeah, 3 to 4 feet in height. That's why they take far longer than that. And this is another, what's this little guy over here? Marigold. We have so many marigold seeds. It's not even funny. Look at all of them. It's crazy. But I can't, I'm obsessed with collecting seeds. Once everything starts going to seed, I can't keep my hands off of it. Cosmos Cupcake White, and this looks like a single too. Oh, it says it's rare. Rare and remarkable cultivar of this classic cottage variety creates a visual splendor in a full sun garden. Easy growing beauties offer up bouquets of white flowers, and these are 40 to 45 days to bloom. I'm planting these in a blue pot. And then, is this the same? No, these are similar to this. This is Gazebo mixed colors, and this is Sensation. That has like a true kind of like red, doesn't it? Let's see. Oh boy, these are 75 to 80 days to bloom. These are single flowers. They're pink, white, and crimson on bushy, compact plants. I'm sorry I waited this long to get going on these, but it's been cold here in Michigan. It finally got hot, and then of course when it did get warm, it was like 80 degrees already. So that leaves us with 2 zinnias, and we have, I think these will be, well, 50 to 55 days to bloom, candy cane mix, and they do look like candy canes. Large 4.5-inch flowers are white striped with rose or gold flecked with scarlet. Great for cutting. And if I keep all these separate, I can try to harvest separate seeds. I will start off with that intention. I'm making no guarantees that I will actually do that, because I know that I will put everything in a big bowl or a big coffee can. Here's one of my coffee cans of, these are mostly all sunflowers. What the birds didn't get anyway. So that's about how you can see the leaves, what they kind of look like. They were green, now they dried. They will all end up in a big pile, I'm sure, but let's look at our last packet. Zinnia Cut and Come Again mixed colors. Look at how pretty that is. Okay, this says it's the most popular cutting zinnia. It's a lively blend of colors. Double 2.5-inch flowers. 65 to 70 days to bloom. It's raining here and it's kind of cold, but I don't have a lot of work to do for my job, and I think that I am going to try to go plant at least these today. I've waited long enough, and the time has come. And then in a few months, when everything's growing and it's hot, these flowers love heat, I will take pictures of everything, and we will see how they turned out. I'm sure they'll be pretty, but I thank you for taking some time with me today, and when they grow, we'll harvest seeds too. We will crack off marigold heads and get marigold seeds. It's so easy if you like marigolds. They're just the easiest thing, and if you can get even one pack of seeds going, you will have endless seeds forever. You can just keep planting them all over the place in your yard if you want. But I hope you're having a good day, and thank you for spending some time with me.